there, this is me, and I was reading some articles in the newspaper, the Seattle Times, this morning, and as I was eating breakfast, and I found a couple that were interesting, so I think I am going to, read it. This is an article that I want to read. Man charged with murder assault in September crash by Sarah Jean Green. A 28-year-old Auburn man has recovered from life-threatening injuries as he suffered in a September high-speed crash that killed 2 men and wounded his female passenger. Emmanuel, who is also on investigation for being part of a shooting where somebody died, they said that he killed his brother. Was charged Friday with 2 counts of murder with a car and 1 count of assault. His whereabouts are unknown and a warrant has been issued for his arrest. Killed in the crash were James Davis, 26, and his passenger friend Bobby, of the same age. So he's going to court May 5th. Court records won't indicate what is going on from here. Just before midnight on September 11th, a man who was 30 was shot in the chest in a parking lot of the Auburn Library where he had gone to speak with his brother. We don't know what happened at the library parking lot, except that there was a gunshot, she says, in regards to him being killed. Emmanuel sped away from the shooting scene in an SUV with his 24-year-old girlfriend in the passenger seat. He was driving well over 100 miles an hour when he lost control of the car, and the car slid into the path of a Honda car that was driving him, and this is probably on the intersection of 15th Street Northwest in Auburn. A handgun, shell casing, and bullet were later found in the car, as well as located at the crash scene. Several full and empty hard cans were found around the car. Traffic investigators determined he was going almost 150 miles an hour before he lost control of the car. The force to the crash stopped the Honda and forced it backward before it rotated and then went more than 100 feet in the car's direction. The speed limit is 35. Davis and his friend, who were both wearing seatbelts, suffered injuries, obviously, that they might die from, and they died like that same day. The girlfriend suffered broken ribs, really nasty injury to her lungs, a brain bleeding, pelvis fracture. He suffered more injuries, internal and fractures to his back, collarbone, and pelvis. The blood was drawn from the hospital within 2 hours of the crash. Blood alcohol was measured at twice illegal, which is 0.08 for drivers over 21. He was discharged from Seattle's Harborview Medical Center, and that's, so I know that. Well, that's like on 8th and Cherry. On October 28th, and they said in the paperwork when he left that he had some memory and some impairments, but he should recover later this year at home. Since the time, however, he has social media accounts appearing to show no obvious medical need. Look happened. Testing is doing on the gun with the car, so that's actually kind of interesting. So I think that what I am going to do is I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do my tarot card and everything I do. I'm going to do like a wide spread, and like, there's just like so many questions that I haven't asked about this thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I just kind of want like a overall, like just a general thing. I'm just going to first ask about the whole article. Okay, so I pulled a couple of cards, and the first card that I pulled was the Moon card, and that is just a card that represents confusion. So it could be for the killer, or it could be all the people involved. You know, it's just a really weird time right now that nobody really knows what's going on. The second card that I pulled was the Eight of Cups, and that's just kind of like a goodbye card. And when I, just sort of, put that, because, this guy, obviously, he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, so that could be kind of like a goodbye card, so that was kind of interesting. So I think the first question that I am going to ask is I am going to do a Y spread. I'm just going to kind of remind you again, the 26-year-old man who lives in Auburn, Washington, and he was hurt really, 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 really bad. And luckily, I think later this year, he's going to have a lot of care at home, but I think at some point he's going to recover from his injuries. Okay, so the interesting, because the first card that I pulled was the Death card, and that is actually pretty accurate and everything like that, because he almost was killed, so that could be coming up. And then the next card that I pulled was the Five of Coins, and that one is obviously, that's a card where a person has having health problems, so that's actually kind of interesting to come up for this question. Okay, so so it said the second question, I'm just going to kind of read over again, just kind of remind you, the whole issue, and I'm going to do like a Y spread, is that they think that he shot his brother, and his brother, he was charged in Friday, one count of murder and one count of assault, and maybe so first thing that I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of read over that, and then just gonna kind of remind you again, so I understand, don't mind me if I repeat myself. So to remind you again, this is what the article is about, because I know this whole article is about this guy being charged. He was recently arrested over the weekend because they think that he lives in Auburn, and they think that his brother was shot, and they think that he was involved in that and everything. So he's charged with one count of murder, and then one count of assault, and then I'm going to go read again about his brother killed in the crash where James Davis, 26, and his passenger. So he had a friend of the same age. So the card that came up was the Temptation card, and that is not really a good card. That's one of the worst cards. but you know, that's not, I don't really know how to interpret that. It's not good when I'm asking about somebody being killed. Okay, and then the last question that I am going to ask is about his friend, because I'm going to read again. It says, killed in the crash was James Davis, 25, his friend, 27. Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting because this card that I pulled was a death card with the 5 of swords, so it's really not a good thing that I'm pulling that card and I'm pulling a bunch of sword cards. Okay, so basically I think that I am going to wrap up this video, and I thank you for watching it. I will see you later.